Welcome back to First Take. The Warriors were without their biggest stars yesterday, but the absence of Steph, Draymond, and Kristaps Porzingis did not stop Golden State from stealing a win against the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic had a triple-double, his fifth in the last 7 games, but couldn't stop the Warriors from pulling away in the fourth for a 128-117 victory. Denver is struggling this season against teams with a winning record. They're 13-13 against those teams, while losing only 9 games to teams with a record under 500. Watching that game, are we more impressed by the Warriors or more down on the Denver Nuggets? Vinny?
Down on the Denver Nuggets because I looked at them as a team that was literally going to challenge Oklahoma City. Given what happened in the second round of that playoff series, had they been healthy, I think they would have gotten out of there. The fact that they are literally in a dogfight for that 3, 4, 5, 6 spot with the Lakers, with Houston and Minnesota, that's disappointing. I get it that the injuries are there. Peyton Watson is out. Aaron Gordon is out. They have not been fully healthy all season long. These next 6 weeks are going to be really critical for them. You cannot lose to a team that's missing Steph, Jimmy, Draymond Green. Like you were listening, Brandon Pajemski, good for him, but you can't lose to a team led by those type of players and not Stephen Curry. That can't happen.
Mark?
Well, it happened. It happened. And this is why I got the Spurs over the Denver Nuggets, because I'm concerned. In order to win a championship, you got to have health. And we look at a guy like Aaron Gordon, who is very important to, Denver and where they're trying to go. He's still dealing with the same hamstring injury that he was dealing with last postseason. Peyton Watson, hamstring injury, a soft tissue injury. You need those two guys because, yes, Jokic is so dominant that they're going to be able to put up points and be great offensively, but you got to be able to defend. And in order to defend, you got to have the right personnel. And two of their major pieces in Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon are not on the floor. So that's why since the All-Star break, you see they lost to the Clippers and then backdoored and lost to Golden State, which they shouldn't have lost their game, but you could put up points on them. This is why I'm not high on the Denver Nuggets right now for us being one of the legit threat or the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I'm impressed by the Warriors only from the standpoint that it gave me a reason to fantasize about what they could be when they're making shots. When you look at Al Horford making his three-pointers, when you look at the fact that Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Porzingis, and Steph Curry were all out of this game, well, what about when they're in the game? I'm not expecting them to win or anything like that. I'm just talking about somebody that could surprise somebody in the postseason if they're making shots, because a lot of times we see cats get tight during the postseason, unfortunately. And so we can't rule that out. With Denver, you're talking about their ideal starting five: Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Cam Johnson, and obviously Christian Braun. They're 8-2 when playing together, but they only played like 159 minutes together this entire season. So obviously we're looking at the Warriors, and Big Perk is right. There's a reason to be concerned about Denver. There's no doubt about that. I'm just looking at veterans that have been out, and if you're surrounding them with cats that make shots, who knows who they could surprise in a particular series come postseason time. We see upsets happen all the time.
Nobody.
That's what I liked about what I saw yesterday.
What were you going to say, Perk?
That's just Perk being a curmudgeon. Surprises happen every postseason. Surprises happen every postseason. The surprises. Somebody gets surprised. It happens.
All right.
I woke up this morning and didn't eat breakfast. Are you surprised?
That is.
Sets get us into what we're looking for. And it's not just time to freestyle.
Not just time to freestyle. No, definitely, probably not during a game time to freestyle. How bad was this loss for KD and the Rockets, Vince?
I don't know how bad it was if you've been watching them play all year. This was predictable. I'm sitting in the press box at Madison Square Garden. The fans are mad. I turn to people and I'm like, Knicks going to win this game because Houston can't close. They are to be a good team, they are one of the worst clutch teams in the NBA this season. Clutch as defined by the game is within 5 points for 5 minutes or less. When you have Kevin Durant, who is one of the all-time greatest scorers we have ever seen, staring down the barrel of a defense 1-5, and he has to create shots because there's no other movement, there's no point guard on the floor, there's nothing else going on, that's a recipe for disaster. Sometimes he can create good out of bad, but that's not the type of offense that I want to see the Houston Rockets create. When you have Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd, the players that Ime Udoka called out and said, hey, now's not the time to freestyle, Those guys are so inexperienced. They're not qualified to be in a position to settle down on offense in the last 5 minutes of a game. Them losing Fred VanVleet is going to come up big for them in the playoffs. I can see them talent-wise, Shay, getting to the conference finals and losing in the first damn round because they can't close.
Good point. Perk?
The Rockets are going home in the first round. Number one, they lack high basketball IQ. Number two, they've lost their identity defensively. They used to be a defensive-minded team. I don't know what the hell happened. Number three, they play individual, selfish basketball. They play my-turn basketball offensively. If you watch the Rockets play, that's what Coach Ime Udoka was alluding to. It's times where you just watch Amen Thompson. He want to go one-on-one, show the world that he could go get a bucket. No structure to their offense. The same with Şengün. Here's the bigger thing, and this is what pisses me off. The Rockets had the audacity and the nerve at the trade deadline to not pick up the phone and call the Milwaukee Bucks to try to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. They had the audacity not to pick up the phone. They had the audacity to say that all of their young guys are untouchable. Have they lost their damn mind? When you talk about being able to get an all-time great that's in the middle of his prime and Giannis Antetokounmpo and pair him alongside Kevin Durant, and we're looking at a Western Conference that is wide open right now because a lot of teams are dealing with injuries, and all of a sudden you look at this routine, this pattern of behavior of dropping games while being up double figures in the fourth quarter. This is disturbing. They'll be sent home in the first round. I guarantee you that.
Let me tell you something, man. I don't disagree with that last part, Big Perk, but I'll tell you something just as egregious. You know, your GM, Raphael Stone, been around, knows the game. I like him personally. His daddy was a point guard. I remember I was doing research on him a few weeks ago. His daddy was a point guard at the University of Washington and played the last 2 seasons under Tex Winters, for crying out loud. You know, this man knows basketball. He knows the importance, one would think, particularly considering his pedigree, that he knows the importance of a point guard. You lose Fred VanVleet before the season even begins. How do you not have a point guard? How do you not have a point guard? Amen Thompson is going to be a stud. I love him, okay? And Reed Shepherd is no scrub. But you need an experienced point guard. You don't go out and get a Kevin Durant and not have an experienced point guard. That's number one. Number two, you're 24th in the league in turnovers. You're 29th in turnovers at clutch time. You're the second worst team in the league in turnovers at clutch time. And I'm looking at the personnel or lack thereof you may have. But I'm also looking at Kevin Durant. He's a future Hall of Famer. Everybody getting on him about some damn burner account. This is business. I don't give a damn whether you got a burner account or not. I mean, everybody just kick rocks and stop going up to press conference asking him about this stupid nonsense, okay? Ask him about the game. Because what he really needs to be talking about is what the hell is happening.
All right, Warriors Nation news fans, listen up, because what just went down with the Warriors is absolutely the kind of moment that defines a season. And we're about to unpack it all in a way that will make you feel it like you were right there in the arena. Here's the hook to keep you locked in right from the jump. Have you ever seen a team without its top 4 players not just survive, but dominate a contender like the Denver Nuggets? And not only that, have you ever seen a young core step up so explosively that even Stephen A. Smith himself might have to rethink what this Golden State roster is capable of? Because what Golden State just did in that 128-117 shocker is exactly the kind of statement that changes narratives across the entire NBA. Let's break it down Warriors Nation style. The Nuggets came into San Francisco fresh, healthy, and fully expected to take advantage of the Warriors being shorthanded, and then the unthinkable happened. Golden State didn't just compete, they controlled the game from start to finish. Imagine this. Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jimmy Butler were all unavailable, 4 of your top contributors, and the Warriors responded with 21 made three-pointers and a balanced attack that saw 7 different Warriors hit double figures in scoring. That's right, 7. A true team effort that reminded everyone exactly who these Warriors are, even when the stars aren't in the lineup. And before you think it was a fluke, realize this. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has been talking openly about how this team is finding new heroes and new confidence every night. And if you're looking for a name that might be a breakout MVP story for Dub Nation, look no further than Moses Moody. Kerr literally called Moody the most consistent Warrior over the last stretch, praising him for his scoring, his defense, and his poise, something that in previous seasons this team desperately needed. Moody has been averaging double-figure points, knocking down shots with efficiency, and carrying this group in a way that's worthy of a headline from Stephen A. Smith himself. But if there's one individual performance that will go down in Warriors lore, it's Brandon Podziemski's absolutely explosive fourth quarter. After a quiet night to that point, he turned the game on its head in the fourth, practically putting the Nuggets away with relentless energy, rebounding, passing, and clutch scoring. This wasn't just a spark, it was a full-blown blaze that turned the tide of the game when Denver thought they had the edge. Now let's be real for a second. All of this without your superstar, Steph Curry, who, by the way, is expected to remain sidelined into early March as he manages that lingering knee issue. That setback was starting to feel like a massive hurdle for Golden State, especially given how much they rely on him for leadership and consistent scoring. But guess what? This team just showed it doesn't crumble without him. It reinvents itself. This win does two huge things for the Warriors. First, it reasserts their identity as a team that can win with ball movement, spacing, and collective effort, what Golden State basketball historically stands for. Second, it gives the rest of the league a clear message. Don't sleep on these Warriors just because they're dealing with injuries. Their next two road games, including a matchup against former Warrior Jordan Poole and the struggling Pelicans, suddenly feel like priority W's, because this squad now believes it can compete with anyone, anywhere, any night. So, Warriors Nation, I need to know from you, do you think this is the true turning point of the Warriors season? Are Moody and Podziemski the new core that can carry Golden State deep into the playoffs, even if Steph returns later? Drop your hottest takes in the comments below. Smash that like button if you think the Warriors showed championship DNA. And if you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss a single update, because this roller coaster is just getting started.